since we developed our first wind farm, which was Hagshaw Hill, we've always felt that as wind farms are a pretty obvious sort of development in the countryside, and love them or hate them, I happen to love them, if you have one in your community you can't get away from it. So it is only right therefore that we should share some of the income from that wind farm with the local community. The Hagshaw Wind Farm Trust is basically a community organisation established when Scottish Power Renewables took over Hagshaw Hill Wind Farm. That's a group that is drawn mainly from the local community, and its main role in life is to decide how to spend the community benefit funds from Hagshaw Wind Farm in the local community of Douglas, Glespin and Coalburn.
The Hagshaw Wind Farm Trust it's quite a simple process to put your application through. Over the years, we've ourselves and the Bowling Club have been quite successful in getting funding from the Hagshaw Wind Farm, and our latest one is part of a 4-part cocktail of funding for a porch that's got disabled access.
This was basically just kind of wasteland that was here, and it was asked, Leaf were approached by another group, Communities on the Edge, to look at making this into a sort of recycling and compost kind of area. But after a consultation with the young people from Douglas, they decided a community garden would be more appropriate.
I mean, it's very easy for us to get on with core business, which is building and operating wind farms and generating clean electricity from them. But we've got to remember that we're doing business in communities, and we have an effect on those communities for good or ill, and therefore it's really important that we give something back. And at the same time, we think it's really important in doing that the community feels empowered by having us as a neighbour rather than disempowered.
We are now in the Glespin Community Hall, and what the Wind Farm Trust has done for us is we extended the bar and we got a new kitchen through the funds from the Wind Farm Trust. Glespin would never do without the revenue that comes from the Wind Farm Trust. We've only got a population of 300 people, and we do not have the funds, if you like, for it to keep the hall open. We need the revenue coming from the Wind Farm Trust.
Hagshaw has now given 2 lots of funding to buy materials, tools, monoblocks, chips for the garden. So without the funding, we wouldn't have had any tools to do the work that was needed.
You have to realise that for them, getting hold of significant sums of money can be quite hard. Larger communities tend to be better organised and better at the grants application game than small communities. So being able to give a community a regular, reliable, dependable source of income for a long period of time can be absolutely vital in securing community development, especially when you give the community the power to decide how to disperse those funds.
With the trustees being local people, then they know that the local needs and that, and they know the area, and they know who's doing a good job locally.
And it is really fulfilling to be involved with a local community, seeing those people from the community make the decisions about what to fund and what not to fund, and getting some idea of the real benefits that this funding can provide to a community. I think it's not often that an executive in a power company gets the chance to see that difference being made.
I mean, there's only 300 people here. It's where we meet at weekends. This is the heart of the community, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. If it wasn't for the Wind Farm Trust, the hall just would not be here.
I've heard a lot of good things about Hagshaw and what they've done. I think they've helped the communities a lot.
The Hagshaw Wind Farm, I think it's a great way to produce electricity, and it's a great benefit to the local community.
We think Hagshaw Hill has been a great model. The fact that the community has taken hold of the whole idea of the trust with such enthusiasm, that so many great local projects get basically core funding year after year, so they know they can go on with a bit of confidence, even at a time of public spending cuts, is absolutely fantastic. And we just think it's been a great model. We've copied it elsewhere, and we wish Hagshaw Hill Wind Farm Trust the best possible future it can have. We're going to be there for another quarter of a century at least, and we hope to see the trust going on for the next quarter of a century, successfully funding good local projects.